Huh?
No? I'll find out. Okay.
Maybe you had a different case.
Hello.
Hello, Judge.
All right, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You're here today in First Appearance Magistrate Court. Today is not your trial date. Today we're going to just determine if there's probable cause, your bond, and any release conditions. Today is not your trial day, so please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything you say or do can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, we have Mr. Romero at the main jail, and we have Mr. Reedy to my right, both from the Public Defender's Office. We have Assistant State Attorney Eric Linder, who's in the courtroom with me as well. First case we're going to call is Anthony King. Is he here?
I think he was in North Broward. I'm not sure.
North Broward, do you have him there?
I'll check.
Hello? One second, let me check.
Okay. Anthony Andrew King. Hello, Ivy.
Hello, John.
We'll have to calm down, he's not on our docket.
Okay.
Okay.
Franis Joseph Smiley, please.
He's approaching, Judge. He's here at me. Come on up, sir.
Okay, Mr. Smiley, you have 2 out-of-state holds for a felony, burglary of a dwelling, parole violation out of Alabama. Court finds probable cause. You're going to be held no bond. We'll see you in extradition court Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m., sir. Good luck to you. Shannon Carroll. North Broward.
North Broward.
Hello, Miss Carroll. You have possession of alprazolam, Xanax, $1,000 bond, possession of controlled substance without a prescription, $1,000 bond. Count 3, you have an out-of-county hold, no bond hold. Out of Monroe County for cocaine, contraband into a detention facility. Court finds probable cause. Your bond set at $1,000 each count. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Judge, would you have any inclination to entertain the idea of releasing Miss Carol ROR on these 2 felonies so she can go to Monroe County?
No. Let her resolve these.
In
Thank you.
fairness, Your Honor, I don't have an objection to an ROR in count 2 because it really covers the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much redundant.
All right, so 1,000 on 1, ROR on 2.
All right, I'll call Ira Shannon.
All right,
Okay,
thank you
good
so
luck.
much.
Thank you for letting me know that, Mr. Linder.
Sure.
LaQuanda Freeman.
And
Miss Freeman's here with this judge here at Maine.
this is also a conveyance, Judge. It says dwelling for some reason.
Oh, okay, thanks. All right, so Ms. Freeman, you have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed, and possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. Court finds probable cause. What say you, State?
Anything locally, Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $1,500 bond in order of no victim contact.
Okay, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with KNB. What say you, defense?
Judge, no objection with the no contact order. My understanding, Miss Freeman has a clean record. Graduate Dillard High School. She's right now looking for work. She lives with her mom in Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to be requesting an ROR on her behalf. She's been here her whole entire life. She's 20 years old.
What's her priors, defense?
I didn't see anything local, Your Honor.
What's your position on an ROR?
Your Honor, because it's a burglary allegation, if the court's inclined to not require a monetary bond, I would be asking for pretrial.
All right, I'll do pretrial. It is burglary. She went into someone's driveway and burglarized someone's car. It's on video, Ring surveillance camera. So standard pretrial supervision, report 24 hours of release, call in twice a week, report once a month in person, no reporting after court. No bond required on either account. Thank you. Good luck to you. Andrew Arentz. Mr. Arentz, you have DUI, alcohol, or drugs, first offense, $500 bond. Count 2 is DUI, unlawful blood alcohol level greater than a .15. Says that you blew here a .187 and a .190. Court does find probable cause. What's his prior state?
I'm checking that right now, Your Honor.
Judge, my understanding is this is a first arrest. He's a registered voter. He's living in West Palm Beach with his girlfriend. So we're going to be requesting an ROR on his behalf.
He has no priors. I'll ROR him.
It should be done in just a second.
Hello. Hello. What do you need? Just throw? Okay. Jennifer Potts? Okay, good. I don't have the paperwork, though.
I'm showing no history, Judge.
All right, ROR, sir, show up for court. If not, you're gonna be arrested. Does anybody have the police report, the PC, on Jennifer Potts?
I
Get
do
it?
not, Judge.
All right, we're gonna be getting it. Omar Fairman, please.
North Broward Judge, be asking for an ROR on Mr. Fairman. I understand he has no priors and has been living here since he's 9 years old.
Okay, Mr. Fairman, good morning, sir. Good afternoon. You have DUI, alcohol, or drugs, first offense. $500 bond, DUI with damage to property or person of another, $1,000 bond. 3 and 4 are not for magistrate, those are just driver's license infractions. Expired DL over 6 months, learner driver's license violation. And count 5, I'm sorry, the expired DL over 6 months is a criminal infraction. 4 and 5 are the traffic infraction, violation of a learner's driver's license violation and failure to use due care. Total bond is $1,500. Court finds probable cause if I didn't say it. What's his prior state?
I just see a possession of cannabis from 2011.
Okay, I'll ROR him on 1 and 2. Show up for court, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey,
Did you hear me, sir?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay, if your court date doesn't come, it's up to you. You better be pretty diligent about it. You can
No,
go,
I'm gonna make it.
you can go, and if you don't get a notice in the mail, it's on you.
okay, hold on.
You can look online, go to Broward Clerk, call the public defender. There's a lot of different things you can do. Come down to the
7,500.
courthouse, any courthouse in Broward, okay?
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Thank you. Joel
problem.
Pizzaro. Good luck.
Mr. Pizarro, come on up, please.
Main jail?
Yes, Judge.
All right, main jail, we have Mr. Pizarro, grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials AT. State, what's his priors?
Sounds good.
Possession of cannabis,
Bye-bye.
resisting without violence, 2015.
So all misdemeanors? All misdemeanors, under 20 grams? Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, we're going to be asking for an ROR on the alternative pretrial. He's works at Panera Bread. Besides that, he's going to Broward College studying engineering. He's paying that for that through financial aid. He lives in Pompano Beach with a roommate. He's been there 2 months, and his share is about $750. So considering his lack of an extensive history, Judge, I'd ask for the court to consider an ROR or pretrial release.
The possession of cannabis, it's a drug court case.
Okay. All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect with AT. Court's not gonna require a bond. However, I am gonna put you on pretrial supervision. Call in twice a week. Report 1 time a month. No reporting after court. Make sure you put that down on the paper, pretrial. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Good luck, Judge.
Brian Broxton.
Mr. Broxton is here with us at Maine. Come on up, sir.
Hello, Mr. Broxton.
you
You
do,
have a
Pizarro?
capious misdemeanor $500 bond. That's for
Pizarro
possession
what?
of cannabis, 20 grams or
excuse.
less. You also have, that's a $500 bond. You also have a capious felony, no bond hold. You failed to appear in front of Judge Elizabeth Shear for a change of plea. You're going before Judge Shear tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. And you're going before Judge Pohl on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Bond set at $500 on 1, no bond on 2. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Alex David Theodore,
North Broward.
North Broward. Okay, North Broward. Sir, you have touch or strike battery. We need to talk about bond, battery on an officer, firefighter, EMT, etc., and resisting an officer obstructing without violence. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in this case. With the alleged victim with the initials DP and AO. And the court's going to also order no return to the McDonald's located at 11655 West Sample Road in Coral Springs, Florida. If you go back there, sir, you'll be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting $2,500 on 1, $2,500 on 2, $500 on 3.
Total
I
of
know-
5,500?
Yes, ma'am. His criminal history is a trespass, 2 separate trespasses in 2014, uttering a forged instrument in '08. I know the standard bond for a battery is usually $1,000, but I am taking into consideration the allegation is that he committed battery against 2 different people, one of which a woman, unprovoked. The other individual was her boyfriend, and when he was trying to defend his girlfriend, allegedly Mr. Theodore bit him and then kicked the police officer in the groin.
Nah, I ain't.
Well, don't say anything about the facts of the case, Mr. Theodore, and certainly there are 2 sides to every story, and unfortunately, as the court's aware, in magistrate court, many times we're only presented with one side of the story. Mr. Theodore is looking forward to his day in court on these matters. He's been a resident of South Florida for the last 14 years. He's been working at a car wash for the last 3 months. He lives with a friend of his. Unfortunately, he has no one that I can contact to post bond for him. I don't believe he's going to be able to make any kind of a monetary bond. He did indicate to me that he had approximately $240 in cash when he was arrested, but I can't say for sure where that might be. I don't know if it's in his property or not. But I'd ask the court to consider pretrial release.
Your Honor, I would just note, not having anything to do with any sides of a story, that one of the alleged victims had a contusion to his left rib cage that the officer found was consistent with a bite mark.
Yes, there was no doubt some type of confrontation between these people. I don't think that that's in dispute. Who started it might be in dispute down the road. Again, we only have one perspective of what took place involving Mr. Theodore and these other individuals.
It says your client's at large. Where does he live?
What's your address, Mr. Theodore?
Where do you live?
I'm living right now. I'm about to live with a cousin of mine. I got kicked out of my mother's friend's house because I had an argument with when the guy I was living with. So now I'm trying to live with a cousin of mine that lives behind the McDonald's on Sample. He lives in the apartments in the back up there.
Do you know the address?
No, I don't know the address. Not familiar with. I have to call him. I have his number in my cell phone. Last night I was gonna call him, but I got arrested for that problem.
What's his prior state?
His criminal history, he has, one moment, a couple of trespasses in 2014, uttering a forged instrument in '08. He was arrested for a battery earlier this year that was dropped.
You're asking for 25, 25, and 5?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think he's ever going to be able to make that, Judge.
What
Not
kind of
working
bond
at the
can he
car
make?
wash. I'm sorry?
What kind of bond can he make?
I don't think he can make any monetary bond at this point. He's, struggling to find a place to live with his cousin. And last I looked, working in the car wash wasn't the path to get real wealthy real fast.
And I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't see it first. He also had an assault in 2016 in Dade County that he was convicted of.
All right, this is what I'll do. GPS level 2, no return to the McDonald's. Let him verify, let him give you the address. He's gonna have to wear an ankle monitor. Don't go back to that McDonald's, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So what is the time serve?
No, you're going to have a GPS monitor, but you are being released on your own recognizance.
But someone has to verify your address,
But
where
someone's
you're
going
gonna
to
live.
verify the address.
Okay.
All right? And also, Judge, I'm going to ask the court to sign a photo order
Sure, no problem.
to document the injuries Mr. Theodore suffered as a result of this incident.
Antonio Richardson, good luck, sir. Antonio Richardson.
I'm just saying, I think they could do it.
Hello, Mr. Richardson, good morning, good afternoon. You have trafficking in oxycodone between 25 and 100 grams, $500,000 bond. Count 2, possession of heroin, $1,000 bond. Count 3, possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. 4 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 5 is resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, $100 bond. 6, 7, 8, and 9 are not for magistrate. They're actually traffic infractions or civil citations. Possession of open container in a motor vehicle, failure to wear safety belt, failure to drive in a single lane, and slow speed impede traffic. Court does find probable cause for both. Total bond is $500, $2,000, and $200. What say you, defense?
I say Mr. Richardson is never going to come anywhere near making a $500,000 bond.
Okay,
The amount is, the amount in question is what causes this to be a trafficking charge. He is disabled, so he does not have any money saved or any way to get any money together to bond out or post any kind of monetary bond.
okay,
And he has been a resident of Broward County for his entire life. I was speaking with him when the case got called. I didn't get a chance to get into his prior record. I don't know what the state shows as far as
Do you need
priors.
additional time to speak to him? I don't mind.
What's that?
Do you need additional time to speak to him?
No, I don't think so,
mind.
Judge. I got his ties to the community and everything. The only thing I really didn't get into with him was his prior criminal history.
Okay, state, what's his priors? And then we'll let Mr. Reedy,
He has 6 prior failures to appear, the most recent being January of this year.
okay,
He has 2011 loitering and prowling, 05 possession of cocaine, 05 aggravated fleeing and eluding with a violation of probation, 03 unlawful use of false name ID, 02 accessory after the fact with a VOP, 01 possession of cocaine with intent to sell or distribute with a VOP, 98 possession of cocaine with a VOP.
what's the minimum mandatory?
25-year minimum mandatory. And, Your Honor, I would just note, as far as the weight making it a trafficking case, the weight of the drugs make every trafficking case a trafficking case. That's what's required, that the drugs fall within certain weights.
Right, but my point was that, this wasn't like an undercover sting operation where they were buying drugs from him. If anything, it looks like he was asleep in his car when he was confronted by law enforcement.
I would say passed out
Well, okay, he was having a nap, it's true.
at a
But,
red
but
light.
he's not gonna be able to make a $500,000 bond, Judge. I mean, that's, I understand what the state has to say about his prior record, and I understand the potential consequences, but, he's disabled, he's not gonna be able to come up with any money to post any kind of bond like this.
My request as far as bond, and I think Your Honor asked, as far as setting a bond, the most relevant question, forget about his prior history. Even with no prior history, he's facing a 25-year minimum mandatory prison sentence.
Tell me about your client. How does he support himself?
Judge,
Where is
he's
he?
disabled. He has a very serious medical condition that prevents him from working. It prevents him from saving up any money. He has been a resident, as I say, of Broward County his entire life.
He has a
Antonio, how long
2000
have you been living where you
He
live
has a
now?
2018 Mitsubishi, by the way.
I'm sorry, Judge?
He has a
Yeah, but
2018 Mitsubishi.
I
no,
understand.
that's a rental car. That's a rental car. That was a rental car for my birthday, miss. That's all. I didn't have it. My mom got me that for my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not his car.
It's not my car.
Fine, but
I don't think. Do you have anything, Mr. Richardson, to post bond?
I have a little. I don't have a lot much money. But I have a little bit of money. I'm be honest with you.
How much money do you have set aside?
I probably have about $800. Being honest with you, and that's put up in my account. I'm not lying. That's God honest truth. If any kind of way somebody can work with me, man, I just.
Okay, so tell me what kind of,
Well, Judge, assuming that he's correct and that he's able to access $800,
Yes.
I'd ask the court to set a $10,000 bond with GPS and pretrial release.
Setting a $10,000 bond, frankly, would make his financial ability essentially the only factor being considered. And it is certainly a factor to be considered, but certainly not the only factor. And setting a $10,000 bond would be ignoring the potential consequences he faces, the strength of the evidence against him, that he's had 6 prior failures to appear.
GPS level 2 curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. 100,000 on 1, ROR on 2, 3, 4, and 5. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. You can go to your division judge and seek a modification if you'd like.
What you saying?
Man, Masu.
Excuse-
I changed it from 500,000 to 100,000, sir.
Okay, so they gotta get $1,000 up?
10,000.
10,000.
Man, Masu.
It's 1%.
Good morning, sir. You have possession of oxycodone, $1,000 bond, count 2, possess and/or use. Drug paraphernalia, no bond required. Attach a registration plate, license plate, not assigned, no bond required. Failure to register a motor vehicle, no bond required. Count 5, Zacchaeus misdemeanor, $100 bond. You're seeing Judge Poll tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. The Zacchaeus is on failure to register a vehicle as well. Court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
You make $1,000 bond, sir?
It's actually
I don't have any
1,100.
money, and I wasn't driving. I was just sleeping in the car. My sister
Let me have a
was
moment to
driving.
speak with him, Judge. He was like the last guy on the list. I just didn't get
Okay,
to
it
him.
says he was sleeping in the driver's seat of a black Saturn with a Texas tag. All right,
I
sir,
see-
don't comment
I
about
see-
your case. Mr. Reedy will give you a call.
Your Honor?
Yes,
While
sir.
he's talking to him, if you want to call Mr. Pelletari's case, it was actually handled by Judge Cohen this morning. I can give you,
Sure.
provide you that
All
information.
right, Charles
Mr.
Pelletary.
Pelletary is here. Come on up, sir.
Name Dale?
And I actually spoke to his attorney
That's
on the
fine.
phone.
Michael Jones.
Yep,
Come on up.
Let me just read the charges.
Of
I
course.
still want to magistrate them.
yep.
Okay, sir, you have an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. Court finds probable cause. What say you, state?
Your Honor, he had a first appearance before Judge Cohen this morning. I
You
guess
had
he
a
was,
first appearance or a,
no, he had a first appearance in this charge.
okay,
I've been advised by my office and Michael Jones, who's his attorney, confirmed this, that Judge Cohen set his bond at $7,500. Pretrial release with a GPS monitor, level 2, no victim contact, no return. I was told a mile, but frankly, there's gonna be a pretrial order, so I would just rely upon the order that was signed this morning by Judge Cohen.
$7,500 bond, okay.
Yes.
So we'll adopt the same conditions.
And Your Honor, the only thing I would ask is if I was inaccurate about something that whatever Judge,
I just put adopt same as Judge G. Cohen.
that works, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir. Thank you.
And just send that to the case file.
Justin Thompson, please.
Bonded, Judge.
All right,
There are, if you want, there are some second looks that bonded if you
where's
want. me.
Jennifer Potts? Did we get the paperwork on her, Kifa?
We don't have,
Who's getting the paperwork on Jennifer Potts? Who has it?
Your Honor, if
She the one
if
that
she was
been
booked in,
booking? Where is she?
I'm sorry, Your Honor,
This morning, the parents came in and it said no paperwork this morning, or they were,
But why is it taking them so long to book her in? What time was she arrested?
she was,
Ivy, can you find out maybe?
the system is showing, Your Honor, that Ms. Potts was arrested. She was arrested at just after 2:30 this morning.
All right, well, she's supposed to be magistrated in the morning and now it's the 1 o'clock. What's
Well, they
going on?
definitely, she definitely wouldn't have, there was no way she was gonna make them, I don't believe she could have made the morning docket. As far as afternoon, I don't know if there were any other issues, medical or whatnot. I don't want to speak for the jail or
All
speculate.
right, let's take a break. Someone find out.
I think I
Ms.
on the
Potts?
phone.
All right, I need Willie Darden.
Conti, Your Honor.
Mr. Darden, you're charged with domestic battery by strangulation, touch or strike battery, violation of an injunction for protection, resisting an officer, obstructing without violence. The state, we're going to deny your motion. The state filed formal charges. You haven't been to an arraignment. You will be in the next week or two. How did you file it, state as charged?
The strangulation was filed as charged. The misdemeanor battery was upfiled to a felony battery, and the violation of injunction and resisting without violence were filed as presented. He's being held no bond on all those counts for a previous violation of pretrial.
Okay, so, all right. So, sir, if you want to reduce your bond or set bond, you got to go speak to your division judge, speak to your public defender, okay? Good luck to you. Any other RORs for today?
That was the only motion for
All right,
release.
for the record, page 4, Tanya Beaumont, bonded, so we'll delete her from the docket, Madam Clerk. Joseph Ramirez, page 3, this is the felony, bonded, so we're gonna delete him from the docket, and Javon Springer, page 3, bonded as well. Is someone calling up Ivy, are you calling
think
up?
she is,
She
yeah.
is, okay, good. Okay, what's going on with Anthony King? North Broward. Did you have an opportunity to speak to him?
He was in transit.
He's here.
All right, did you speak to him? Yeah. You want to talk to him on the phone? All right, he's gonna talk to him on the phone. All right, let's go to Mr. Romero, main jail. Who do you have?
Judge, Mr. Arthur Landers, that was the next gentleman on the second look docket. He's here on the felony second look. My understanding, Judge, is
Hold on,
he's
just give me
been-
one to formal charges filed. Sorry, who is this?
This is Mr. Arthur Landers.
Okay, page 2, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Judge, I believe he's being held on this battery on an officer and a petty theft, basically allegedly going into his store, shoving in an individual and running off. And speaking of Mr. Landers, he's spoke
What's
with
the
his fa-
bond? I don't have the
It-
cheat sheet in front of me.
It's $1,000 bond, and if we're gonna just go with what's on the report, the allegation is he was trying to steal at a Walmart when a loss prevention officer and a police officer tried to stop him. He shoved the police officer to the ground.
Exactly what I said.
Not really, but
All right, we're not
close.
gonna get into an argument. What happened? What's his priors?
I'm pulling that right now, Your Honor.
Mr. Landers has been trying to contact his family, a judge. From what he understood is if his family couldn't bond him out by today, they really didn't have the financial ability to do so. So if his bond has not been posted, that means he's not gonna be able to be, released. He's 49 years old, he works as a handyman. He lives with his aunt who gets disability. His aunt basically stays at home taking care of her 48-year-old son who has a severe disability, can't really take care of himself. So therefore, she has no sort of financial resources to post his monetary bond. She was going to try and do whatever she could to try and see if she could post a bond. But if no one's posted it, there's probably going to be met with negative results. So that's why we'd be asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
That's right.
Who'd you get your second look from today, Hector?
Mr.
NGO?
Correct.
That's the docket, but the cheat sheet.
The cheat sheet, I received it from
Leslie?
Leslie, correct.
Okay. All right, Your Honor, in 2016, he had a felony theft. He was sentenced to 18 months state prison. He was just released from state prison January 13th of this year. 2014 felony theft, he violated probation, was sentenced to 18 months state prison to run concurrent with the 2016 case. 2011 theft, 2012 felony theft, 2 years state prison. 2011 possession of cocaine, 2 years state prison. 2010 felony theft and possession of cocaine, 13 months state prison. 09 theft, resisting without violence. 09 loitering and prowling. 09 theft.
What was the first one I missed because I was looking for
Two-
something?
2016 felony theft. He was sentenced in May of 2017 to 18 months in state prison and was released late January of this year. I can tell you, while dated in the late 80s, he had multiple convictions. I see a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 convictions for robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon, where he was sentenced to 9 years in state prison.
Judge, I understand he has a history. If the court's not comfortable with releasing Mr. Landers on standard pretrial, we'd be asking the court to consider then level 2. But we're asking the court to first consider standard pretrial release, have him call several times a week and actually report in person. Hopefully those two things in place will have Mr. Landers on the right track and he will be showing up to court.
What does your client do for a living?
Right now he's a handyman, so he's self-employed whenever he can get work or any. He won't basically say to any job, no to any job, Judge. But it's nothing stable. But he's trying.
I worked every day doing car washing and cleaning yards, cleaning houses.
Scroll down. Stop. Start
Bond out
again.
and pay $100.
Well, that's what he was trying to contact his aunt and his cousin, and if they haven't posted it by now, unfortunately, they just don't have the financial means to do so. No, Mr. Landers spoke to his cousin actually as recently as this morning, or it was last night? Last night, Judge.
No, probably.
What's his cousin's number? Let Mr. Reedy call up. I'm not
It's his case of
inclined,
pepper pipes
I
there.
have to tell you, with his prior history and based on the facts of his case, He just got out of Florida State Prison. Why don't you give him a call, Mr. Reedy, the cousin, and see what's happening?
And would you consider level 2? So therefore, you would have to be first, pretrial would have to confirm that his residence, you'd be supervised with a monitor?
Sure, but if you don't want to have him check for $100, I think it would be a lot easier. It's up to him.
Yeah, I checked the number 954 707 7680.
Who am I calling?
My cousin,
Which cousin's name?
Stephanie.
What is it?
Stephanie.
Zephanies.
Zephanies?
Yeah,
Yes.
tell him I'm inclined to put an ankle monitor on him, otherwise I can pay $100, but I'm gonna do a GPS level 2.
Yes, Judge. So right now, my partner's gonna contact your cousin, so we'll have to wait and see, okay? Hold on.
Did you find out anything, Ivy?
Yes, I spoke to my supervisor, he said we would not have to reset it, because we don't have the paperwork, we have to have the paperwork for Ms. Jennifer.
Okay, we're gonna go off. What's We'll be with you soon. We're looking for your paperwork, okay? All right, so Anthony King, North Broward. All right, Mr. King, you have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, you have a no bond hold. I don't know why.
That's a mistake.
Does he have a no bond hold?
It's just,
I don't
it's
know.
a mistake.
Yeah, it's
What
gotta
is
be
it
an error.
supposed to be?
Probably NC.
K and C. So there's no bond, so $100 bond, no bond required. You have a capious misdemeanor $500 bond.
And,
That is from a 2006 case.
yeah, well, Your Honor, if I can address that, it's a 2006 case, it's a 2011 capias. That being said, it had to do with completing community service that were converted from court cost. I have no objection to the court converting any outstanding costs to a civil lien on count 3.
Okay, so we'll convert. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's fine, Judge.
Convert. Can you tell me what the civil lien is so we can tell the clerk?
One moment.
Does he want to resolve counts 1 and 2?
Mr. King, do you want to take care of all this today?
No,
What do you want to do, sir?
go to a drug program.
He indicated to me he'd like to go into a drug program, Judge.
I'd like to get can we do a medical screening on him?
Yeah, why don't we? Maybe reset him, if he's gonna do a medical screen.
All right, I'm gonna magistrate him. We can do a second look. I'll leave the bond at 100.
Okay.
Just tell me how many on the capias on case number 06
Your Honor,
4113 MM40A. Yes.
it doesn't have in Odyssey what the court cost would have been then. So I imagine the clerk's office is going to have the paperwork pulled
All
to
right, so
figure that
just
out.
convert to a civil lien.
Thank you.
Do you have it in your system? All right, just convert as civil lien and close the case out, dispose of the case forthwith. Okay? Make sure you show it as disposed.
It's on the next page.
So can we have this set for a second look on counts 1 and 2 tomorrow? And we're gonna do a medical screen, deputy. He definitely needs one.
Do you want me to check in with Sarah now?
Yeah.
Or do you not care? Whoever it is, it is.
No, just want me, you have to check with someone. Nobody responded to me.
I didn't send a request out. I had. No, I talked to.
All right, sir, we'll see you tomorrow.
First,
Maybe you can put them in, deputy, maybe you can put them in detox, alert them too.
Oh, well, he's actually had to come in a chair, so
Huh?
he came in a chair.
Okay,
And I will let him know.
so should I reset them for tomorrow or the next day?
I don't know how much time he needs.
All right, we'll reset him for tomorrow, and if he needs more
Yeah.
time, then I'll just
Not
reset
that,
him.
if he gets any worse, I'm pretty sure they'll medical reset him.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
what were we doing with this guy?
You gotta like work out a little bit over here. Yeah.
I think they have someone else in North Broward on the second look also, Brian Kirk,
I have, how about Man Rakat Masu?
some for second look.
He's a regular.
Yeah, he's a new arrest. Miss Al is a new
Where's
arrest.
he? Main jail.
What happened?
Yes.
I'm just being patient, that's all. I don't know if Mr. Reedy had an opportunity to contact Mr. Lander's cousin.
I did actually, yes.
And what did we learn, Mr. Reedy?
We learned that she has the $100, but can't find anybody willing to put up the collateral to get Mr. Landers out of jail.
Your problem, Judge. I know that the second part is the collateral, and sometimes people have issues with
I'll
it.
do the $100 standard pretrial. He's gonna call in 7 days a week. He can't miss one day. And he's gonna report one time a month. He's gonna report within 24 hours of his release. Let him put the
Thank you, Judge.
$100 up on the KBS misdemeanor. What are we doing with that?
The strip where her business is lost power. What?
The KBS misdemeanor is the 18 case. That is
Strip.
for
So she's walking outside.
failure to register a vehicle. Does
What's
he wanna
either that or
resolve
standing
it?
in front of in the dark office.
Let me ask, Judge.
State, what's your offer on 5, just in case he wants to take a plea?
Judge, speaking on Mr. Arthur Landers, my paperwork doesn't indicate.
No, is this, where is Man Masu? Hold on. That's who I'm on.
No, this is Landers, Your Honor, on the second
Okay,
look. The-
where is Man Masu?
I know,
Mr. Man Masu? Wasn't he on the regular docket?
That's what
Still
I
is.
thought. They said main jail.
I don't drove cars, but I ain't never got stopped by nobody.
Hold on.
He's right here.
Mr. Man Masu is on
Page 8.
Since you like cats.
8, and he's at North Broward.
Okay. All right, so then on, since have Mr. Landers in front of me, $100 on one, standard pretrial supervision. Call in 7 days a week. He has to report within 24 hours. I want him reporting once a month.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
I don't know if you should leave yet. I'm talking to you, Mr. Romero. Okay, Mr. Romero, we'll see you later. Okay, let me have
Thank you,
Masu.
Judge.
Man Masu.
He's in North Broward, Judge. He's been living the last 20 years with his mother. That's where he can stay.
Did I read him his charges?
I think so.
Sensitive.
Let's start from the
All
top.
right,
I want to do
oxycodone.
it again.
Okay.
Sir, you have possession of oxycodone? No, I don't think I did. Percocam,
No, I did
Percocet, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is possess and/or use drug paraphernalia, no bond required. Count 3, attach a registration license plate not assigned, no bond required. Count 4 is failure to register a motor vehicle, no bond required, and KPS misdemeanor, failure to register a vehicle. $100 bond, total is $1,100. Can you pay that bond, sir?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I still with my mom. I'm self-employed and I'm a mechanic, man. I fix cars and survive it as I go. I still with my mom help her with the bill. And the officer arrested me. I asked my phone to call my people. I have no number with me, nobody to wish my people. And I was sleeping in the car. My sister was driving. 5 minutes drug. I only drink liquor. And it light 10 car. I don't know. I was asleep when that happened. And I guess my sister saw the officer. She got up and left.
You gonna
and
let your client
I
keep
was,
talking?
I was.
or-
Yeah, he's very
I know.
outspoken. He has been a resident of our community for a long time. As I said, he is a self-employed mechanic. He does not have any money saved. He's not in a position to post much of a financial monetary bond. It's not his first contact with law enforcement either. But he's not going to be able to come up with the $1,100 on this nonviolent offense.
Here's the thing, he has Texas tags on his car.
Right.
He's from Haiti. I don't know if he lives here. It has
Yes.
Blount Road. What's your mother's address?
I'm a 7828 Northwest First Court Margate, ma'am. I've been staying there for a minute.
Margate or Miami?
Margate. Margate. And the tag is a car that I bought. And basically she was living in my car, you know what I mean? And the car was supposed to be parked there. So she was driving out the passenger seat, came to see her.
He was parking it, and I don't want to get into it with him, but he's in Pompano, but his car's parked, he lives in Margate.
Yes, that's what my sister lives.
That you can stay with your mom at that address, sir? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, sir. That's where I stay.
Your Honor, just so the court's aware, since you're being advised he's resided in South Florida for the past 20 years, that's not really accurate. In '03, he had multiple charges, but he was convicted of 2 counts of dealing in stolen property, 2 counts in grand theft, and he was sentenced to 10 years in state prison.
2003?
Yes, so 15 years ago, he was sentenced to 10 years state prison. He has not been residing in South Florida for the past 20 years.
That's in Florida, I was saying.
All right, well, we're here on the misdemeanors, not that I'm,
Well, no, count one's a felony.
I understand. So what are we gonna do with the capias?
Oh, the capias, that's up, if he wants to resolve it, I'll,
That's what I'm asking, what's the
oh,
offer?
the officer withhold it in court costs if he wants to resolve. the
Withholding
misdemeanor.
court costs on the capias, failure to register a vehicle, does he want that?
Mr. Masu, if you want to get rid of the outstanding capias, that's a $100 bond, the offer is no conviction on your record and court costs. Would you like to resolve at least that charge now?
I can, but I don't know how I'm gonna get that money.
It's not gonna cost you any money right now. You have time to pay court costs.
But he has to know that if he pleads to this charge, he could be subject to deportation proceedings.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. All right, you know what? Let him go before his division judge tomorrow, and on the possession of oxycodone,
It's not mine.
what's your
Ain't no oxycodone
recommendation?
there. There's no oxycodone in the car. That was the officer was mistaken. She probably had some Somali in there.
What's your
Hang
request?
on, sir. Don't say anything else about the case.
Well, if he went to state prison, he could be deported anyway.
Well, things were maybe a little different back then.
Still a conviction.
I know. But I don't see a hold on him.
I get bubble cut. Shrug.
You could let him go in front of his division judge tomorrow. Maybe the court would consider lowering his bond on count one.
You know what? I'll do $100 bond on one. I'll leave the 100 on the capias. If he fails to appear, he'll be back here on a no bond hold.
Very good, Judge. All right, good luck, sir. You're going in front of your judge tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go off the record for a moment. Brian Kirk.
It's a second look. Your Honor, I'll wait till he gets up there. Your Honor, this is a second look for felony theft. You kept the bond at $750.
I did, or someone else?
You did.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask that the bond be kept at $750. I'll go into Mr. Kirk's history, but the court should know he appeared before Your Honor on October 24th on a capias for a theft. He was county sentenced and released October 29th. He was then arrested on this offense October 31st. In addition to that, his history, a trespass that he resolved October 8th, disorderly intoxication September 15th, another disorderly intoxication that was resolved September 15th, trespass July 11th, a felony theft that he resolved June 4th of this year to 270 days in county jail, another theft that he resolved March 6th of this year, felony theft last year, 200 days county jail, felony theft 2016, 364 days county jail, felony theft 2015, 270 days county jail, 2015 felony theft 90 days, theft 2015, felony theft 2012 with a VOP, just under 60 months in state prison. Dealing in stolen property, burglary of a dwelling, false ownership info on a pawn item, and theft in 09. He received the same prison sentence after violating probation. Theft 09, theft 08. And I'm just advising the court of the theft-related offenses. There are other offenses that are not theft-related. I understand that it's not the optimal situation to hold someone on a $750 bond. The problem is that Mr. Kirk's actions really show that he has no inclination to stop stealing.
Say defense, I'm inclined to agree with the state. It's some prior record.
Yeah, it's not a pretty picture, Judge. I know. I've spoken to Mr. Kirk before. I know he doesn't have $750 to make as far as bond is concerned. I don't know if this has been filed yet. I guess he just got arrested. So he doesn't have any money, Judge. So I don't know what else I can tell you. Stole from Publix, allegedly.
No, I know, and normally these type of charges, but he has some prior history.
I know.
I'm gonna leave the $750 in place. Normally I wouldn't, but okay, thank you, sir. I'm gonna leave the $750 bond in place. Is there anybody we can call?
Ashley Perpignand and Paul Ryan.
No, I'm asking this gentleman.
Oh, I thought you meant any of the cases.
Me?
Yep.
Maybe my mother.
All right, give me your number.
954 296 0757 and
What's her name again?
954 Teresa Reed.
You think she'd be willing to bond you out, Brian?
Yeah, well.
Hopefully. I've been through
Find
this.
out, I guess. We'll give her a call.
There's another number I can give you if you want.
Sure.
954 726 4248.
And who's that?
Saying that's her. That's the house number.
So we gave you two numbers for one
Okay.
for selling.
All right. Let me
those
see what Mom has
All
to
right,
say.
we'll recall you.
All right, thank you.
Ashley Perpigan.
Late February this year, huh? When the interlock came off. It's not good. Which tells me Kiefer, she was.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Your Honor,
How could she want to resolve this? It says she has a bunch of altered prescriptions, the felony ones.
No, these are misdemeanors, Your Honor.
How come I only have, 1 through 5,
It's-
false ID given to a Leo, it says.
Yeah, here's the breakdown. 1 through 3 are altered prescription is true first offense, and those are misdemeanors.
Altered prescriptions
As true first offense.
is true, first offense, okay.
Count 4,
Is the false ID? Or resisting without?
one moment, Your Honor. Ivy? Trying to help you. Does the order need to be, do the charges need to be in the order of how they are in Odyssey, or how they're booked in the jail?
How they're booking the jail is
Okay. Then, Your Honor, what I would do is write, put 1, 2, 3 for the altered prescriptions. False ID, you can make number 4.
How do you have it on there, Ivy?
as Eric stated, 1 through 3 is the altered prescription count, 4 is the false ID.
That's 9, right? And that's 9, right, Ivy?
So I have 1 through 3, 4, and 5, I don't have 9.
You can make the resisting without violence 9. The reason being, Your Honor,
What happened to 5, 6, 7, 8?
I'll explain that right now. She's booked in the jail on 5 through 8 are felony VOP. They were
see.
felony VOP holds.
Did she resolve those?
They've been converted to community control. That's why I asked Mr. Reedy if she wanted to resolve them. I'd make an offer. If she wants RORs, that's fine with me too.
Why don't we do RORs and let her resolve them?
That's fine.
Unless you want me to do, what did you say? Adjudication time served?
My offer is going to be a withhold in light of the fact that she went on community control
Withholding court costs for all?
for all, if that's what she wants.
All right, well.
That's what
can't
she
get any
indicated
better
she'd
than
like to
that.
do, so.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Ashley Perpignand? Perpignand?
Yes,
I'm sure I didn't say that right. How do you say it?
you did.
Okay.
Perfect, ma'am.
All right, good. At least I'm doing something right today. Anyway, ma'am, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Reedy, you want to give up all your rights to a trial?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
You under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
How do you want to plead to, and let me read them off, okay? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to. Counts 1 through 3, alter prescription as true first offense. Count 4, false ID given to a law enforcement officer. And count 9, resisting without violence. Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Okay, and you're doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And you feel that
saying is-
pleading no contest is in your best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, court's gonna accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court
family's
file,
gonna
finds probable cause for the plea. Hold on one moment. Ms. Jackson, she was booked in.
Okay,
She
but
was
Judge, we're
arrested.
not responsible for the paperwork. The paperwork's supposed to come from the jail.
I understand, and I know everybody's saying they're not responsible. I'm just trying to get, if you would just listen to me for a moment, I'm just trying to get this paperwork. I know it comes from the jail, but maybe your office can contact whoever you get the paperwork from the jail. She's already at Paul Ryan, this girl, and she shouldn't have to wait till tomorrow to be magistrated. So I'm just trying to find the paperwork. That's all. No reason to be angry at me. Court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good luck, don't violate that community control,
Yes, sir.
all right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I
She
don't
never-
think there's
this is
anybody
weird.
left. We're gonna wait on this other lady, the last one that,
Wait a minute. You have the wrong
ROR to
person.
pretrial, $100 set on count 1 for Arthur Landers. Okay. Okay.
You have the wrong person. Yeah. It's not her birthday. You have,
What did we do with Arthur Landers? Was he put on pretrial?
Jim.
Okay, I get it. That's count one? Count two was an NC or ROR?
Careful.
Was it a no charge or ROR?
Permit.
I have ROR. No? Yep. ROR. Okay. So I did two of them. I did count one Ivy, ROR to pretrial, and then count one $100 set on count one. No, this is for Arthur Landers. Yes. Okay. Sure.
One case, this particular case, it was actually one case with two charges.
Hold on one moment. Hi, Dave.
So yeah, now that case is not two separate case numbers, but she was on pretrial for both counts.
We're waiting.
Yeah, no, I'm
For the
just bringing something for
paperwork.
the clerk.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm leaving the record on. All right, that's fine. No problem. Do you need anything else?
Order, yes, I have a couple of them here, actually.
No problem. Do you need this?
No, that was just in case you wanted to. Why is that? They actually lifted all of the original orders.
Okay, not a problem.
These were just errors either with the name or there was an additional charge that was missing. Is Jennifer here today? Jennifer? Orders from over the weekend.
Who was the judge this weekend?
Judge Miller.
And what's the corrections?
For Thanksgiving week, the two weeks that there was extra charges
Okay, not a problem.
that they missed when they were in the program.
Okay.
check Impossible Burger.
Did you call Miss Jackson and tell her bring the
I don't
paperwork
want,
back? Okay.
see, I don't like things like that. First of all,
Why
the
not?
word impossible makes me concerned. Like that whole, you know the product, I can't believe it's not butter.
Mr.
Yeah.
Reedy,
What
you on
is
the
it?
phone with her?
Because you can't even sue them, because what are you gonna
You're on
sue
the
them
phone
for?
with
All
your
they said
client?
was it's not, we didn't tell you what it is, we just said it's not butter.
All right, anybody
know
left
what
at
it is.
Conti?
Okay, just read the.
No. Anybody left at North Broward?
It has a bunch of chemicals.
Oils.
I don't know what that
Olive oil, kind of olive oil.
Yes, we have Kirk Bryan.
Who?
Oh, that's
Brian
right, you
Kirk,
were
we just
calling.
did.
Brian Kirk?
No,
Oh,
finish
well-
speaking to her and then you can call.
Well, they had him calling them up.
And? All right, we'll reset him for tomorrow. All right, let's get Mr. Kirk.
Come on.
Okay, your mom didn't pick up the phone, they left a message,
Smells.
so we'll just reset you for tomorrow afternoon at 1, okay, sir?
That's fine.
Thank you, see you then, good luck.
Okay.
Try to get a hold of your mom. This was Brian Kirk, reset him for tomorrow, 1 PM. It's getting hot.
Look at that. Boy, it tastes and smells, and it bleeds.
It doesn't,
Okay, do I have to?
I spoke to David Scharf, and he told me that intake's gonna get me, make sure that I get the paperwork. We're waiting for the paperwork, deputy.
No problem.
For pelletry, can we have a short order to say, same conditions as before because they have the bond, but they're waiting for paperwork for pelletry?
Yeah,
for
just
the
have the
GPS.
state do it.
Okay,
No problem.
thank you.
Everybody check their emails and see if they have anything from intake. You have anything, Ivy? Eric, do you have the number for intake you can call? Ivy, can you call them? They said they'd be sending it to me, per David Scharf. I thought you were bringing me the paperwork. Yes, hi, this is Judge Malika calling from Magistrate Court. How are you? Good. David Sharp gave me your number. Trying to get paperwork, he said, that was going to be coming to me for Jennifer Lauren Potts. She's in Paul Ryan. We're waiting on a probable cause affidavit. Lieutenant Archibald. Thanks. and via email. Yes, ma'am.
The third case took a plea some long time ago, and he had to do a community service.
That's why we converted it.
Yeah, so I'm converting the court cost this evening, but they did set a $500 bond, so if you wanted to pay a bond.
His case is closed.
Yeah.
I put here clerk
But
to
the jail,
dispose of case forthwith.
it's disposed already, but the jail, because it had an that bond, they would let them off unless.
All right, on Anthony King, Ivy, I resolved this case, I disposed of it. So the 500 is an ROR, or the case is settled on the Capias. We just it was just community service, we converted it to a civil lien.
Okay, then order. Do we have an order? It's coming up.
I bet you your fax doesn't receive stuff. They were doing it now.
Hi, Your Honor. It should be going through the fax right now, you say?
It's coming.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
For what? What do you need me to do? That's the way of the world with the,
Because judge magistrate can be here as well, so you need to front of box. I understand what you're saying.
well, you're not gonna be here, so. No, I know, I know. What do you need the order to say? Have them give Mr. Linder the exact language that they want. But he has one from Judge Cohen already. Eric, you know what? Just write, it's easier than to argue with City Hall. You know what? Then why did he come? So you're saying he came twice?
What happened was, I don't know why he was referred to Cohen, I just know who it was. Why
But I can, but he went to Judge Cohen anyway, and he came here.
It's like the reverse of what normally happens in here, where they bring one that should be.
So why don't we just delete him from today's magistrate court? There are 3 copies of it? Are these? Why did they make me so many copies of the same thing, do you know? I'm just wondering if it's all the same, so.
Yeah, because she's only got on one account, so it has to be on the same.
Okay. I'm just making copies of the booking.
Yeah, because I'm gonna need it myself, because I don't have the physical.
Here, I'll give it to you. Do you want the top sheet too? Oh, you're gonna get the magistrate. Hey, here you go. It says state attorney's copy, but, hold on, give this to Eric. This doesn't say state attorney, that's why. This is, I think, yours with this on the back.
Yeah, I need all the extra ones. And I guess the clerk needs one as well?
The clerk, I'm gonna give mine. And I'm gonna give one to Mr. Reedy, if you can come up.
Sure. I know it's worth waiting for.
Here. I'll give some to the parents if they want. All right, I have 2 pages after the booking report, 3 pages total, right? Yeah, okay.
You have 3 pages for the PC?
I have the booking and 2 pages.
Okay.
All right, so let me read this.
Messing for 5 and no contact. Messing for 5 and no contact. Yeah. Doesn't say. Guess we'll find out who's custody. I'm sure that they gave the child to their parents.
All right, so, Mr. Reedy, have you had a time to read? You want to waive formal reading? It's up to you.
Well, yeah, all right, we'll waive formal reading, and yes, I've had a chance to review the probable cause affidavit.
Okay, so court's gonna find probable cause. What say you, state? Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in this case, with the initials TP, until further order of court. Okay, what say you, state?
Sorry, Judge. Your Honor, I'm going to be in addition to the release condition you already ordered, I'm going to be requesting a $5,000 bond. Should she post that bond, that she be supervised by pretrial release, no alcohol or intoxicants, and random testing.
Hi, how are you? Okay, you're Mrs. Potts' parents? Okay. Is there anything you'd like to tell the court, or to afford a $5,000 bond?
Your Honor, my daughter Jennifer has never been in any trouble before. She was out with her friends.
Is she on probation? I think she's on probation.
No, she has no prior criminal history, Judge.
Okay.
She was out with her friends and made a horrible judgment call. No doubt about that. I ask that the state please help us with the bond. I don't know what else to say.
Judge, she's been living here for quite some time. She has no prior criminal history. She doesn't work. She's a stay-at-home mom. Her husband is involved in the construction industry, granite, I believe. There's not a lot of financial resources available for posting bond. I think placing her on pretrial release in light of the fact that she has no criminal history is sufficient. I don't think a monetary bond is necessary. I think there's also a lot more facts to this case that are going to come out that have not come out as of yet. And I know it sounds bad that she was in a bar while the child was in the car. I understand that. But as she mentioned to the officer, she went into the bar for a very brief period of time to get her cell phone and her driver's license. She had been out with some friends earlier. No DUI investigation was conducted. There's nothing in this report that indicates that she was impaired. I would ask the court to also consider allowing for supervised contact with her son. They do live together. The husband and Miss Potts and the child live together as a family. I think it would be an extremely undue hardship on Ms. Potts if she was not able to have some contact with her son. I think as long as it's supervised, that should be sufficient for this court's concerns. Nothing like this has ever happened involving Ms. Potts before. From my conversation with her, I'm pretty doggone sure nothing like this is going to be happening again. And obviously she has tremendous ties, a tremendous family support. I believe her parents came down from Jacksonville for the purpose of attending this hearing and showing her support for her. So I have no problem with a pretrial release and whatever conditions of no alcohol and all of that. I think that that's all fine. But I do think she should be able to have some contact with her son. And I honestly do not feel that a monetary bond at this point is required if she's going to be supervised by pretrial release.
Your Honor, if Mr. Reedy wants to argue about her lack of a criminal history or her financial condition or ties to the community, that's fine. But if he wants to argue that the allegations here are somehow a mitigating, or that there's somehow a mitigating factor to these allegations, I would take exception to that. I know Ms. Potts claimed that she only went into the bar for a few seconds to get her driver's license and her cell phone. The facts don't support that, though. Law enforcement, the officer was dispatched to this call at 1:15 in the morning. He found the vehicle where the child was locked in the back seat at 1:32. So at a minimum, 17 minutes. And that's if she left the car the second that the call was made to 911, and then the officer was dispatched, and got back the second that the officer got there. And for Mr. Reedy to speculate, and I understand why he would speculate that he's sure nothing like this has ever happened before, and that he's sure nothing like this would ever happen again, but he has no basis to make that allegation. And I'm not saying that anything has happened before or will. I don't know. I'm going by what these allegations are and the evidence that supports them. And that's why I'm asking for the bond and conditions that I'm asking for.
And again, it's uncontroverted, and there is no evidence to support an idea that anything like this happened before or would happen again. She has no prior criminal history. She's 29 years old. She's never been in trouble a day in her life. I think that those factors should weigh heavily with this court in determining what type of conditions for pretrial release to set for Ms. Potts.
I'll say one more thing, Your Honor.
Sure.
I know the relationship Jennifer and my grandson have, and she would never, ever, I know what this circumstance appears to be. She would never intend any harm on him. They love one another dearly. She is his life, and he is hers. And
I'm very concerned. Tristan's father is here illegally. We're worried he's going to take him and run at this point. We're going to seek ways, find out how we can stop that from happening possibly. I don't know what rights do we have as far as protecting from that happening.
We have to speak to a family law attorney about that.
Okay.
There's plenty of them around here too. Okay. Just, Google. Okay. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with TP until further order of a criminal family or dependency court. No alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at your expense, standard pretrial supervision. That means, ma'am, you have to report. Deputy Paul Ryan, can you give Ms. Potts paperwork for pretrial services, ma'am? This is really important. You have to report there within 24 hours of your release. If you don't, there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest. I want you calling in 4 times a week, reporting once a month in person. You're going to be subject to random testing at your expense for no alcohol or intoxicants. Prescription medication is allowed as prescribed. Court's going to set a $5,000 bond, so you'll have to contact the bondsman, put up $500, and the rest is collateral. Okay? I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you.
thank you.